The question that I get more than any other, Liv, when am I gonna make my money back? And I'm not gonna give you some generic answer like, it depends, right? I'm gonna show you real timelines from real clinics. Some made it back in 7 months, one took 19 months. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what also made the difference, because the answer is not luck. It's a handful of decisions that you make before your doors open up. So let's first get specific, okay? There is a couple different things we're measuring. When I say your MedSpa pays for itself, I mean the total cash that you put in to start, your full startup investment, has been recovered through profit, not revenue, profit. Now, if you invested 150K to open and you're generating 40K a month in revenue with a 35% margin, that's 14K a month in profit. At that rate, you recover your investment in about 11 months or so. But here's the thing, not every month is the same. Month 1 and 2, you're just ramping up. Month 3 and 4, you're hitting your stride. Month 6 and onwards, you are really starting to compound. So the real math is not linear. It really does accelerate quite a bit. So the 3 things that determine how fast you recoup are right here. Number 1, how much you invested up front. The leaner you start, the faster you break even. Someone who spent 100K breaks even way faster, obviously, than someone who spent 350K or $1 million, even if they're generating the same monthly revenue. Number 2, how fast you ramp up patient volume. If you have a system that's booking you 25 to 35 new patients a month from day 1, you ramp up pretty fast. But if you're just relying on word of mouth and Instagram posts, you're looking at 12 to 18 months of slow growth. Number 3, your upsell and cross-sell rate. This is the multiplier. Getting someone in the door is step 1, but getting them to buy a package or a membership is what actually, truly drives the profit. So let me give you a real example. A clinic in Tampa, Florida. Owner invested $195,000 total. Lean build out, smart equipment choices, and a focused service menu. We started marketing 4 weeks before opening, and by month 3, they were doing $38,000 in revenue. By month 6, they were doing $52,000. By month 7, they had recovered their full investment through accumulated profit. And what made them fast? Well, 3 things. They started out lean, they had a marketing system booking patients before they opened, and their staff was trained to convert, upsell, and cross-sell from day 1. No wasted months on trying to figure it out. So here's what the average actually looks like. Now, a clinic in San Diego invested $340,000 because they went with a bit of a larger space and more equipment. Revenue hit $28,000 in month 2, $45,000 in month 4, and $67K by month 7, and also $85K by month 10. Now, they recovered their investment in about month 13. Not bad at all, but notice the difference. They invested almost double. So even though their revenue was higher, it took way longer to recoup because there was more to pay back. This is why I always tell people, start out lean. You can always add more equipment and expand later. So there is, of course, a slow path as well. This is a more hard story. A clinic in Austin, Texas, invested $185K, good budget, good location. Marketing was working, bringing in 22 to 28 new clients per month consistently. But the revenue was stuck at around 20 to 25K for 8 straight months. Why? Well, the staff couldn't upsell. Clients came in, got one treatment for $280 and left. No packages, no membership, no cross-selling. And the owner came from a medical background or clinical background and hired people with great patient care, but 0 sales ability. It took 8 months to identify the problem, invest in sales training, and fix it. Once they did that, revenue jumped from $24,000 to $48,000 in 30 days. Just think about that, it's crazy. They eventually recovered their investment at month 17, but those 8 months of plateau, that was entirely preventable, for sure. So if you want to see the full cost breakdown that you can implement and what it actually takes to open up a MedSpa, ROI timeline, grab the free guide in the description. It shows you exactly what to budget for in every category, so there are no surprises, all right? Here's my framework for getting your money back as fast as possible. Rule number 1, invest the minimum viable amount. You don't need a $500,000 build out. You don't need 5 devices, and you don't need a 3,000 square feet space. Start with 1,000 to 1,500 square feet, 2 to 3 core services that are proven in your market, and 1-2 devices maximum. You can always expand once you're profitable, but the difference between investing 150K and 300K is 6 months of additional payback time. That's 6 months of stress, 6 months of burning cash, and 6 months of wondering if this was a mistake. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Now, rule number 2, have a marketing and patient acquisition system running before you open, not after, before. right? 4 to 6 weeks prior to you opening up the doors, you should be running awareness campaigns. 2 to 4 weeks before, you should be booking actual appointments. The clinics that do this, they have revenue from day one, week one. And the clinics that open first and then figure out marketing, they burn through 10 to 20K per month in overhead with an empty space. That's the fastest way to delay your ROI. Rule number 3. Train your staff, please, on how to sell before they ever see a patient. This is the lesson from an Austin clinic, right, that I showed you. If your team cannot convert a $280 walk-in to a $3,000 package buyer, you're leaving 70% of your revenue on the table. The math is pretty simple. If you get 28 new patients per month at $280 each, that's $7,800. But those same 28 patients with a 40% upsell rate, which is pretty low, buying, $3,000 packages, that is $33,000 from the same number of people walking through your doors. Same marketing spend, same staff, completely different outcomes. So what actually happens, right, with more compounding effects, and this is what nobody talks about, by the way, as well. What happens after you recoup your investment? Because that's when it gets really exciting. Once you have broken even, every dollar of profit is pure return. And because your patient base compounds, your revenue keeps growing without proportionally increasing your costs. Your rent is not going up because you have more patients. Your staff cost increases marginally, and your marketing becomes more efficient because you have reviews and referrals working for you. Month 12 to 24 is where real wealth starts to get built. And that's when owners start to take home 15K, 20K, 30K per month in personal income. And that's when you start thinking about location number 2 and when the business becomes a true asset. So the answer to your question, how long does it take for your MedSpa to pay for itself? If you start out lean, have a marketing system from day one, and train your staff on how to sell, you're looking at 7 to 13 months. And really, the average for us over the past 2 years has been 6 to 8 months. But we also like to start out clinics super lean. So when I show numbers like these, you can see that I'm adding a couple months onto it because I do not want to overpromise, because you can start a MedSpa in many different ways, but we want to make smart choices, right? That being said, if you overspend on the build out or neglect the sales training, it could be 17 to 19 months. The difference is not just luck. It's the decisions that you make before you open up the doors. So go down, grab the free cost breakdown in the description and start planning out your numbers. And I'll see you in the next video.